Welcome back to my channel. This is the second part of the chapter integers of class 7, and on previous video we have discussed about the addition of the integers and subtraction also, and in this part we discuss about multiplication and its properties and laws of the integers. Let us start the class. So multiplication of two integers, how to find the product of the two integers. So now we know, and we know the rules of the integers. First, product of the integers. First, let us take examples. Suppose minus 2 into minus 3. Number 1, this is product of two integers minus 2 and minus 3, and then number 1, number 2. Minus 5 into 6, number 2. Number 3, 7 into minus 5. So first, how to find the product of these two integers minus 2 and minus 3? That is equal to minus into minus plus, and 2 into 3, that is 6. And then minus, and here 6 is, these are two integers minus 5 and 6. This is minus and this is plus. Minus into plus, that is equal to minus, and 5 into 6, that is equal to 30. And that is similarly in this case, plus into minus, minus 7 5 is 35. So rules of the multiplication. Rules of the multiplication, first we have to know, then we get the product of two integers. Before that, on class 6, you might have known about the product of two integers. First, how to find the product of two integers. Rule number 1, first, product of the sign then number 2, product of the number. These are the two rules. By following these two rules, we can solve or we can find the product of two numbers. So let us take example to follow these rules and to find the product of two integers. First, like the first, we have discussed about the product, and now suppose minus 5 into 8 in this case. First, product of the sign, and knowing before that, first we have to know about first, if product of the sign, number 1, plus into plus, that is equal to plus into minus, that is equal to minus, and minus into plus, that is equal to minus, and minus into minus, that is equal to plus. So by following these rules of the product of the signs, we can find the product of two integers like that. Here, which rules will be applied? Number 1, number 2, number 3, and this is number 4. Now, minus 8 means plus 8, minus into plus, This is rule number 5. Minus into plus, that is minus. And product of the number, rule number 2, 5 8 is 40. So, another example, let us take minus 11 into minus 7. Which rules? First, minus, and the result, that is plus. So plus 11 into 7, 11 7 is 77. So like that, we can find the product by using the rules. The properties and laws of the multiplication. Number 1, closure property. Closure property. What is closure property? This is same like in addition what we have discussed on part 1. What is that? Closure property. The product of two integers is an integer also. Suppose a and b both are integers. A and b both are integers. Then a into b, product of a and b, product of a and b, that is also is an integer. A into b is an integer. Let us take example to find that. Suppose -4, that is an integer, and 6, that is an also integer. -4 into 6, using the law of multiplication first. This is minus and this is plus. Minus into plus. Minus into plus, that is your minus. 4 6 ja 24. When two signs are like, then there is plus. And when two signs are unlike, then there is minus. Here two signs are unlike because this is minus and this is plus. So that is minus. The product, in product, the sign will be minus. -4 into 6, that is equal to -24. And -24, this is also an integer. So product of two integers, that is also an integer. This is a closure property. Number 2, commutative law. Commutative law, that is like the commutative law of addition. On part 1 of the video, that we have already discussed about the commutative law of addition. That was a plus b is equal to b plus a. And that is similar in this commutative law. If a and b are two integers, then a into b, that is equal to b into a. This is the law of commutative, or this is commutative law. So let us take example to verify this statement or verify the commutative law of multiplication. Suppose we take two integers, -10 and 8, two integers, -10 and 8. Take this as a and this as b. Then left hand side, that is a into b, that is left hand side a into b, that means this into this left hand side. What is that? -10 into 8. What will be that? -10 into 8, a into b, this is taken as a and this is taken as b, a into b. By following the law of multiplication, then what will be that? First, product of the sign, here this is minus and this is plus. Unlike signs, and that is minus. 10 into 8, that is the 10 8 the 80. And right hand side, that is b into a, 8 into -10, and that is equal to 8 into -10, that is equal to half. Unlike sign, plus and minus, so there will be minus, and 8 and the 80. So left hand side and right hand side, they are both equal. Left hand side, this is left hand side, and this is right hand side. Both are equal. They are equal. So this is the verification of the commutative law. And what is associative law? Law number 3, associative law. associative law. And in associative law, through three in associative law, three integers are required to verify this associative law. Let us take three integers A, B, and C. Three integers. Then associative law of multiplication. We are studying about the associative law of multiplication. Then A into B into C, that is equal to A into B into C. This is the law. This is associative law of multiplication. Let us take examples. Suppose three integers. Let us take -2, 4, and -5. Three integers. Let us. This is A, this is B, and this is C. This is A, this is B, and this is C. Now, left hand side, this is A into B into C. This is given. So, we have to find the product of the left hand side or solve the left hand side first. What is that left hand side? Left hand side, that is given A into B into C, and that is equal to A -2 into B 4 into C -5. Here two signs are nearly, so two signs that cannot be taken as nearly, so put bracket, and that is equal to -2 into product of 4 and -5. Unlike sign, in the case of unlike sign, that will be negative. 4 5 is 20, and that is equal to now like sign, minus and minus, both integers are of like sign, so that will be plus, and 2 into 20, that is equal to 40. This is left hand side. And to solve right hand side, first take the statement. What is that given? A into B into C. A into B into C. A into B. A, that is given -2, B is equal to 4. -2 into 4 into C. What is that given? -5. And that is equal to -2 into 4, unlike sign, negative, 2 4 ja 8 into -5. Like sign, minus and minus, these are like signs, so answer will be plus, 8 5 ja 40. Here LHS, when we solve the LHS, we get 40, and when solve the RHS, we get 40 also. So left hand side, that is equal to right hand side, and this is the verification of the associative law of multiplication. Then rule number 4, distributive law. Distributive law. What is distributive law? This law based upon both addition and multiplication. Now addition and multiplication, suppose, and if we take, if A, B, and C are integers, then A into B plus C, that is equal to A into B plus A into C. A into B plus C, that is equal to A into B plus A into C. Now, to verify this, whether this is true or false, this statement is true or false, then we take examples to verify this. Take three integers, suppose -5, -2, and 6, 3 integers, minus 2, so minus 5, sorry, minus 5 and minus 2 and 6, 3 integers. Then we take left hand side a into b plus c, left hand side, a into, this is minus 5 and this is minus 2 and this is 6, a into b plus c, a minus 5 into b plus c, minus 2 plus 6, a into b plus c, a, this is a, this is b and this is c, then that is equal to minus 5 into minus 2 plus 6, that is equal to minus 2 plus 6, they are addition, that is addition and that is 4, and that is equal to minus 5 and 4 product according to the law of multiplication, minus and plus unlike sign, that is minus, that is equal to 5 4 that 20, minus 20, and right hand side that will be also what is that, a into b plus a into c, a into b, what is a, minus 5 into b, b that is minus 2, a into b plus a into c, minus 5 into 6, a into b plus a into c, a into b plus a into c, and these are two terms, a into b, that is a term, and a into c, that is also another term. Then in both terms a is common, a is common, a is present in both terms, a into b first term and second term a into c in both terms. So that is what will be that, minus 5 into minus 2 by following the law of multiplication, minus minus, that is equal to plus, 5 to the 10, plus minus minus and plus, that is minus, and 5 6 the 30, that is equal to 10 plus minus 30, and they are unlike sign, so subtraction, 30 minus 10, that is equal to 20, and first sign is larger number sign minus according to law of addition of the integers, that is minus 20. Here the left hand side we solve, that we get minus 20, and by solving RHS or right hand side we get minus 20. So that is same, this is same, this both are same, these both are same. So this is the verification of distributive law. Then 5 number, what is existence of the multiplicative identity, multiplicative identity, multiplicative identity. In the video of the first part, we have discussed that additive identity and 0 is the additive identity, but this is multiplicative identity. Which number is the multiplicative identity, and how can we get that, or how can we know about that multiplicative identity? That means that is a number, or that is an integer by which when any number multiply, then there is no change of its value. Suppose a into 1 is equal to a, and 1 is such a number, 1 is such a number, when this multiplied with any number, then there is no change of that number. A into 1 is equal to a. 1 is such a number. So 1 is called the multiplicative identity. 1 is the multiplicative identity. Suppose you multiply minus 5 into 1, that will get minus 5. And if you multiply 11 into 1, you get 11. So 1 is such a number by which when any number multiply, then the product is remains same. Product remains same. So 1 is the multiplicative identity. So what is multiplicative inverse? Multiplicative inverse of an integer is that integer by which when it multiply, then the product is equal to the multiplicative identity, and multiplicative identity, that is 1. That means when an integer multiplied with its multiplicative inverse, then the result is equal to the multiplicative identity. For example, a into b is equal to 1. So here b is called the multiplicative inverse of a. So multiplicative inverse of a is that is equal to b. So on. A into b is equal to 1, or b is equal to 1 by a. B is equal to 1 by a. So from that we know multiplicative inverse of a is equal to 1 by a. So multiplicative inverse. So multiplicative inverse of a, that is equal to 1 by a. So on. Suppose here numbers are integers and multiplicative inverse. Suppose I write here 5. Multiplicative inverse of 5, that is equal to 1 by 5. Multiplicative inverse of a, that is 1 by a, and minus 8, that is equal to minus 1 by 8. Multiplicative inverse of minus 8, that is equal to minus 1 by 8. So multiplicative inverse of 100, that is equal to 1 by 100. Multiplicative inverse. So these are integers and these are multiplicative inverse of these integers. So multiplicative inverse of a number is equal to that number. So what is that? Multiplicative inverse of a number is equal to that number. Suppose a into a, that is equal to 1. Multiplicative inverse of a is a. Multiplicative inverse of a is a. So a into a, that is written as a square is equal to 1, or a is equal to root over 1 plus minus root over 1, and that is equal to plus minus 1. So from this we know that multiplicative inverse of 1 is 1 and multiplicative inverse of minus 1 is minus 1. So 1 and minus 1, these are the numbers which are equal to their multiplicative inverse. Suppose I take multiplicative inverse of 1, multiplicative inverse of suppose 1, that is equal to 1 by 1, that is equal to 1, and so on. Multiplicative inverse of minus 1, that is equal to 1 by minus 1, and that is equal to minus 1. So these are the two integers 1 and minus 1 which are equal to their multiplicative inverse. Another property of 0. Property of 0 so that when you multiply any number with 0, then the product is 0. That means a into 0, that is equal to 0. So on minus 5 into 0, that is equal to 0. Suppose 0 is the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. Here minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, so on. And the integers are in increasing order from left to right. Increasing order. This is increasing order. Increasing order. Increasing order. That means minus 4 and minus 3. Minus 3, that is greater than minus 4, and minus 1, that is greater than minus 4, or 0 is greater than minus 3, so on. These numbers, all these negative numbers are less than 0. All these negative integers, they are less than 0. So another thing is that there is a system when we multiply. Suppose two integers, we take two integers. 2 is greater than minus 4. If we add any number from both sides, this is left hand side and this is right hand side. If we add any number, 2 plus, suppose I add 3. Here greater than minus 4 plus 3. 2 plus 3, that is equal to 5. And here minus 4 plus 3, that is equal to minus 1. And 5 is greater than minus 1. When we add any number in both sides, then there is no change. This greater sign, that will be remain same. For example, 5 is greater than 3. 5 is greater than 3. When I multiply a negative number with this, with both sides, then that will be opposite, that will be less. For example, 5 into minus 1, and here 3 into minus 1. Minus 1, that will be multiplied. Minus 1 is multiplied in both sides, with both sides, then 5 into minus 1, that will be minus 5, and 3 into minus 1, that will be minus 3. This, that means minus 5 is less than minus 3. Minus 5 is less than minus 3. So when multiply any negative number with both sides, then this sign changed. When this is greater, that will be less, or when that is less, then that will be greater sign. Another example, suppose minus 4, that is less than minus 2. Minus 4, that is less than minus 2. When I multiply this with minus 2, suppose multiply both sides with minus 2, both integers with minus 2, then minus 4 into minus 2 here, and here minus 2. This is because we are multiplying with minus 2 both sides. Then that will be minus minus, that is plus, 4 to the 8, that will be 8. Minus 2 minus 2, minus minus plus, 2 to the 4. So that is greater. 8 is greater than 4. So when a negative number is multiplied with both sides, then this greater, that will be less, or this less, that will be greater. Another thing, when negative, suppose minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1. What will be the result? How many numbers of minus 1? 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4, there are 4 numbers of minus 1. 4 is an even number. 4 is an even number. So that will be 1, 1, 1, 1. 100 times you multiply with 100 times 1 will be multiplied, or 1000 times of 1 that will be multiplied, then the result is 1. And in this case, that is odd, that is even number. 4 is even number. So the product, that will be plus 1. If I multiply minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1, how many minus 1 are multiplied? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 numbers of multiplier. Then 5 is an odd number. So that will be minus, because minus minus plus, plus into minus minus, minus minus plus, plus into minus minus. This, that is plus sign. When these two integers multiplied, minus minus, that will be plus. And when these three multiplied, plus, this is plus and this is minus, that will be minus. And when these 4 multiplied, these 4 numbers multiplied, minus into minus, that is plus. And when these 5 multiplied, minus into minus, plus into minus, plus, this is plus into minus, that is minus. So result, that will be minus. And 1 into 1 into 1 into 1 into 1, that is minus 1. Minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1 into dot on n times, that is equal to 1, where n is even, and minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1 into so on n times, then that is equal to minus 1 when n is odd. Suppose a simplification that is given minus 8 into 11 plus minus 8 into 14. How to solve this? In this case, by using distributive law, because a into b plus a into c. A, this is b, this is a, this is c. When we simplify that, then what will be that? A into b plus a into c. That is distributive law, and that will be a into b plus c. A into b plus c, that was a into b plus c. And by solving this, first put a minus 8, which is present in both terms. This is term, this is another term, this is a term, and this is another term. Minus 8, that is present in both terms. Then minus 8 into a into b plus c. This is b, this is c. B plus c. And that is equal to minus 8 into 11 plus 14, that is equal to 25. And that is equal to minus 200. Yes, students, that is for today. The next video will be uploaded after 2 days. And if you learn something from my video, then like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.